Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. And here, this is September 16, the first editorial of the Indian Express. So, withdraw the list. कोई लिस्ट दी गई है, उसे रिट्रैक्ट कर रहे हैं, उसे विड्रॉ करना है. देखें कौन सी लिस्ट है ये. So, the decision by the 28-party opposition alliance, India, to draw up a list of 14 television anchors they will boycott. टेलीविजन एंकर्स हैं जिसे वो बॉयकॉट करेंगे. ओ माय गॉड. और ये किसने किया है? इंडिया. मतलब वो जो पूरा एक ग्रुप बना, ये कैपिटल लेटर होता. एंड देन टू रिलीज इट थर्सडे sets a disturbing precedent even in a discourse where naming and shaming have become de rigueur, right? So it is a disturbing precedent. ये काम तो नहीं होना चाहिए था. इससे disturbance is like it is not right. You'll be troubled by it. So admittedly, many on the list practice or are incentivized to practice an upside down journalism which seeks to flatter the government and discredit the opposition. तो ऑपोजिशन पार्टी ने क्या किया? उन्होंने कहा कि जो हमारे खिलाफ कोई बोलेगा हम उसे बॉयकॉट कर देंगे. ठीक है. ऑथर ने कहा एडमिटेडली हाँ सही है, ये जो लोग हैं ये ज्यादा कर गवर्नमेंट के फेवर में बात करते हैं, एंड देन दे वुड बी अपोजिंग द ऑपोजिशन आल्सो. दे विल बी गोइंग अगेंस्ट द ऑपोजिशन, सो दे डिस्क्रेडिटिंग द ऑपोजिशन, सो वी आर गोइंग टू बॉयकॉट देम और बैनिश देम. ठीक है. ऑलमोस्ट बाय रोट. ऐसा लगता है जैसे वो रट्टा लगाते हैं. इनको बताया गया है कि क्या बोलना है. दिस इज व्हाट द ऑथर सेज. दे and those who sign their paychecks have perhaps seen it as worth their while to abdicate their professional responsibility to ask questions of those in power that need to be asked. Abdicate means abandon, let them go. तो इनकी जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है एंकर्स की या मीडिया की, जर्नलिस्ट की, उनकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं that they would raise questions on what the government is doing or what the government is or those in power, what their task is or what they are doing. उस पे questions उठाना. Now, what the author says is that the professionals or the journalists or the media, they have forgotten or they have let go of their professional responsibility. They do not ask questions, and what they do is only go for that upside down journalism. Many of them treat and slip on thinning lines, whipping up hate hour by hour. Indeed, for these very reasons, what India has done is a stunning self-goal. इंडिया ने क्या कर दिया? इंडिया ने ऐसे एंकर्स को बॉयकॉट करके अपने ही गोल में गोल दाग दिया. So in a democracy where spaces for dissent and disagreement are increasingly coming under threat, that means डिसएग्रीमेंट है, डिसेंट है, एक पार्टी छोड़ के दूसरी पार्टी पे जाना है, all this is already under threat. The opposition's boycott list strengthens that which it claims to oppose. ठीक है. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि ऑपोजिशन गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर बोलती है कि गवर्नमेंट इस तरीके से काम कर रही है, एंड इफ द ऑपोजिशन इज ऑल्सो डूइंग द सेम थिंग, सो इट इज अ सेल्फ गोल, राइट? सो दे इट इज ओनली स्ट्रेंथनिंग व्हाट इट वाज एक्चुअली अपोजिंग, और rather what it claims to oppose. जो वो बोलते हैं कि हम इसके खिलाफ हैं, राइट? पर उसी बात को वो स्ट्रेंथन करती है. इसका मतलब दे आर डूइंग द सेम थिंग. It shrinks the space for honest, good journalism and journalists. It threatens the press freedom. All its righteous rhetoric about not wanting to legitimize the peddling of hate, all its high-minded claims about setting up a window of love in the bazaar of hate, and in the Patna resolution where it put its first building blocks in place of restoring the nation's damaged secular and democratic credentials, cannot mask the intolerance that lies at this decision's core. यहाँ पर ऑथर ने बड़ा एक गहरी बात बोली है कि जो ऑपोजिशन ने क्लेम किया कि देखो मैं इस जो पावर स्ट्रक्चर है सेंटर पे उनके खिलाफ मैं बोलूंगा, हम आवाज उठाएंगे उसके खिलाफ, इस तरीके से तो डेमोक्रेसी को हैम्पर हो जाती है. सो व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इज नॉट अकॉर्डिंग टू डेमोक्रेसी, इट इज एन अनडेमोक्रेटिक स्टाइल. बट देन what this group has done, that is India, right? What has it done? It has boycotted those people, right, who are speaking for the government, that is in favor of the government. So, what does this action actually indicate? It actually indicates that they are intolerant, they cannot take criticism, right? तो वो decisions at the lies at the decision score का मतलब बेस या फंडामेंटल क्या है उसका कि दे आर इंटॉलरेंट. तो कुछ भी बोलो आप, ये इंडिया ने कहा था, कुछ भी बोलो, this will be intolerance on the part of that party India. As many as 11 of the 28 in the alliance are ruling parties in states, and the Congress has for long held power at the center. Surely all of them know that a constitutional system is threatened most of all when it draws fixed and impermeable lines between us and them. फिक्स लाइन है, ये हम है ये वो है. जब इन दोनों में डिफरेंस आ जाएगा तो डेमोक्रेसी सही नहीं चलेगी. When it shrinks the spaces for engagement and negotiation, and when it allows the mobs to form and roam free, brandishing list of targets. जब ये काम होता है तो डेमोक्रेसी गई. और ये लोगों को भी पता है, इस अलायंस के लोगों को भी पता है क्योंकि वो रूलिंग पार्टी में रह चुके हैं, राइट? सो इन फैक्ट a large part of the opposition's inability so far to take on the BJP मतलब उनका सामना करना अभी तक नहीं कर पाए हैं. So this has been its criticism of the BJP's vendetta politics and intolerance of dissent lacks conviction and credibility. मतलब वो खुद ही उस लेवल पे नहीं है where they are able to take on the BJP. It has been this. What is the reason? What is the inability? That its criticism of the BJP's vendetta politics and intolerance, whatever they are talking of dissent, it lacks conviction and credibility. So opposition or the alliance that is India is against the BJP or it is taking on the BJP, but not with that much conviction. In the states, these opposition parties rule. They practice a similar narrow-minded politics. जो ये रूल जहां पे ये रूल करते हैं वहां पे भी narrow minded politics है. While the Congress carries a special burden of its own record in states and at the center of its government weaponizing laws and agencies to cramp the freedoms. यहाँ पर भी वो कर चुके हैं, सब पहले कर चुके हैं. जो अलायंस में पार्टीज हैं वो भी कर रही हैं, जो स्टेट में पार्टीज हैं वो भी यही काम कर रही हैं. ठीक है, जो सेंटर पे जब कांग्रेस थी तभी भी उन्होंने यही काम किया था. तो दिस इज व्हाट इज बीइंग सेड. Now, with its list of TV anchors, its politics of gag and dog whistle, the parties of the India alliance undermine their claim to offer a political ऑल्टरनेटिव. इसका मतलब वो जो उन्होंने लिस्ट निकाली है बॉयकॉट करने के लिए, उससे ये सारी implications हमें समझ में आती हैं. और we can draw many inferences from this. Conclusion being that by coming up with that list, the alliance, so to say, has actually undermined its own claim to offer a political alternative. If not BJP, then who? इसके लिए उन्होंने जो अपना मुझे बोलते ना खुद के पांव पे कुल्हाड़ी मारना, that is what they have done according to the author, right? Of course, when parties of the opposition are feeling besieged in a one party dominant system presided over by a winner who wants to take all, they may choose who they talk to and won't. But to arrogate to themselves, मतलब claim करना खुद, right देना खुद को, to public name calling and paste a label on those they don't agree to. खुद भी तो यही काम कर रहे हैं, मतलब name calling and all, they do not agree to those. So with only forecloses possibilities of dialogue and debate. Boycott कर देने से dialogue का रास्ता ही नहीं बचेगा. That is what the author is saying, right? And when the list comes up as this, that so there will be no dialogue and debate. It also calls attention to their own weak and wavering commitment to the freedom of expression that they purport to defend. तो ये देखो एक पैराडॉक्स जैसे हो जाता है, या पूरा देखेंगे तो एक आयरॉनिकल सिचुएशन हो जाती है कि हम उन चीजों को बैन कर रहे हैं जिसके खिलाफ हमने आवाज उठाई थी, राइट? दैट द सेम एक्शन वाज डन बाय द not the same action, but whatever it was, like being undemocratic, was followed by the ruling government. And we are also doing the same thing now by banning or boycotting that list of people. As a result, what is happening, they being a definite another political alternative, ये chances उनके खुद के कम हो गए. This is what the author is emphasizing in this part also. These must necessarily be decisions that leave open for both sides room for maneuver and persuasion. There is no space for blacklist in a democracy. All they do is mark out targets for the mob of your choice. तो blacklist नहीं करना है, किसी को boycott नहीं करना है, लेकिन आप dialogue और उसके साथ किसी को you can bring somebody round the table, that is it. Having made a mistake, opposition alliance must waste no time in undoing it. That is to withdraw the list. ये heading थी हमारी. It must keep raising the very valid issue of why citizens in the world's largest democracy need and deserve better than anchors with a hateful tongue on bended knee. But to do this effectively, it must withdraw its list. ये उन्हें करना ही पड़ेगा. Right? So the main idea would be TV anchors with hateful tongues, ठीक है, on bended knee, need to be called out. But India's boycott list threatens the press freedom. Clear now? So questions, चार questions हैं अभी. First slide में conclusion, second में भी conclusion, third में assumptions, fourth में main argument. Overall argument I hope तुम्हें समझ में आ गया होगा, तो you write it in your own words. Coming to the tone and style, here we have a very philosophical tone. Philosophy लोगों को समझ में भी आती है, philosophy लोगों को करनी भी आती है, लेकिन philosophical tone पढ़ के समझना मतलब ऐसा होता है जैसे ज्ञान देना जैसा होता है. तो talking about like intangible things, talking about something that is metaphysical, right? Something that is not concrete, तो उसे abstract कहते हैं. ऐसी चीजों के बारे में बात करेंगे क्या? जिंदगी है क्या? क्या मिलेगा ऐसी जिंदगी से? जब इस तरीके से बातें करेंगे ना, then it becomes a philosophical tone. So it focuses on an abstract topic or idea. It analyzes something, means tries to understand something, and of course it questions everything. मतलब why so? वो इस तरीके का जवाब आएगा फिर why so. What if we do not decide anything? अच्छा कर, हम लोग कुछ डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा? कैसे होगा? अब वो सोचो, है डिसीजन कुछ तो लेना ही पड़ेगा ना, राइट? डिसीजन होता क्या है फिर? Decision taking, decision, or taking no decision is also a decision. I am not going to take any decision today. Even that is my decision. Right? So this becomes a paradoxical statement that taking no decision is also a decision. सोच के देखो, लिख के देखो, समझ में आ जाएगा कि contrasting ideas है. Taking no decision is also a decision. ठीक है, टोन के साथ साथ एक पैराडॉक्स का एग्जाम्पल आ गया. चलो, आई वंडर व्हाई माय लाइफ इज दिस वे. ऐसी जिंदगी क्यों है? ऐसी क्यों है? Difference of tone. Right? Come on. When they ask about or when they talk about abstract matters, that becomes a philosophical tone. That is what we need to keep in mind. The concrete nahi rahega, abstract rahega. And that's all for today. So thank you everyone and stay logical and see you soon.